This is Conjured Universe. I'm Chris.
And I'm Nick.
And we are two dudes just talking about Harry Potter. So, no interruptions, no commentary. We're jumping right into it. Harry Potter, Sorcerer's Stone, Chapter 4.
All right, so chapter begins with a giant breaking the door down.
Reading the chapter, we know it's Hagrid, and he's going to tell Harry that he's been invited to the School of Witches and Wizardry, or something like that.
Just the beginning part. Busts the door down, picks it back up, puts it back on the hinges, calls Vernon an old prune, and asks for tea. That sounds like something you would do.
That is something I would do. I'm not the giant size, but I think I could work myself through a doorway eventually, and knock it down and put the thing back up on its hinges.
Not that it was, it sounds like it's a pretty shaky shack to start with.
Yeah, I'm surprised a stiff breeze didn't blow the door down. To be honest.
Well, he asked for tea. Obviously, they don't have any because they didn't get anything when they left. So Hagrid just starts pulling out everything.
You name it. He's like a grocery store essentially. He's pulling out tea, sausages, things to make a fire and a fireplace, cookware. You name it, he's got it, and he's like, "All right, you guys don't have what I need. I'm going to do it myself." First thing he does that Dudley does when this guy comes blasting through the door is hide behind his mom. This dude pushes Harry around like he's.
Well, he is also 11 years old, and or 10 or 11, and
same difference.
And Hagrid is like twice the size of a normal person.
So he's about one time the size of Dudley. Is that what we're getting at?
Hagrid's supposed to be a big guy as well.
I mean, I get that to a point, but I don't know. I'm just saying it because I just don't like Dudley or the Dursleys.
No one likes Dudley.
Yeah, that's true. Not even Dudley likes Dudley.
So, one thing that I found very interesting. Okay, so how did the Dudleys know about Hogwarts? How do they know about wizards? Isn't that supposed to be a secret? Even from your siblings, I thought that was supposed to be a big secret. How does everybody just know about it?
Let's see, everyone. That's actually a good question. Everyone seems like Petunia's sister was enrolled in the school, wasn't she?
Yeah, but was she supposed to tell Vernon? Why do they know about it? It was a secret she was supposed to keep. She's a wizard, but does it just spread throughout the family? Oh, hey,
All right, so
I'm a wizard.
Okay, so if I understand what you're saying, is Lily, Petunia's sister, was enrolled in the school,
right?
And again, we don't know how the witch gene, assuming that's what it is passed on. I don't know if they're going to explain how that works. I would like I don't want to know. I kind of want to find out on my own if they explain how you either have it or you don't. But so what you're saying is that Lily and Petunia obviously knew because Lily was part of it. So Petunia just tells Vernon at some point after.
Yeah, I mean, it will explain why they hate the Potters so much, that they're wizards. But
it just seems like I have a feeling it's a conversation that happened where it's like, so Petunia and Vernon meet, however people meet people, and everyone knows that there's wizards and and witches and etc. But maybe it comes up in conversation when they went out, by the way,
hey, by the way, my sister's a witch.
My sister's a witch. That cup of tea you're drinking there could turn that into a magic toad. Yep.
I wonder how Vernon took it. Can you imagine how would you take that if someone's like, "Oh yeah, my sister's a witch, but that's okay. I don't like her."
I'm guessing he didn't take it well.
He probably, he took it well enough that he married Petunia.
It could have been that bad. I mean, if it could have been bad to where it's like, well, I don't know, your sister's a witch, I'm out.
Yeah,
Obviously, it couldn't have been that bad. I mean, there had to be something there that kept him around. So
I guess. And okay, so they all know they're a wizard, and Hagrid's there to talk to Harry. Why didn't Vernon want Harry to know? Like, why does he want him to go to the school? He doesn't like. Obviously, he doesn't like Harry that much. Why were they so against Harry going? I mean, Petunia didn't like Lily being a wizard or witch, I should say. I mean,
you're
you can
right. I mean,
expand on that a little bit more.
I almost felt like it was jealousy, almost. To be honest, I felt like Petunia was jealous of Lily that she had the abilities and Petunia didn't.
But why would that carry over to Vernon?
Maybe Vernon. Well, Vernon had abilities too. He had no neck. Written in the book, chapter 1. Check it out. Check out our chapter 1 video. We kind of touched base on this a little bit. If I'm not seriously mistaken.
I don't know if that qualifies as abilities, but
maybe it's an inability. Who knows? But maybe it was a similar concept. Maybe he was jealous. Like, really, your family has wizards in it, and
maybe it was a deep sense of that. Maybe it just.
And I sell drills.
Yeah,
Dang.
maybe.
Oh, that goes on.
Maybe they were upset because they're witches and wizards, and that got them killed, and they're not going to let that happen to Harry. As much as they don't like him, they don't want the same thing to happen to him.
Right, because they do mention a little bit later on when they're trying to argue with Hagrid, they do try to mention we were going to stomp this out of him one way or another. Wouldn't it be more appropriate for him to say, we're going to drill this out of him one way or another? That would have been awesome if they wrote it like that. I'm sorry, I had to throw that in there.
I would have laughed. That's a good point.
That would have been perfect. It would have gave reference to his 9 to 5 job. I'm sorry, I just can't get over that 8 pages of just wasted material. I can't get over it. I'm sorry. You guys could criticize me in the comments below later for it. I got thick skin. I could take it.
I just found it was odd that they did not want Harry to know, or they didn't want Harry to point. I'm sure that Dumbledore probably saw that was going to happen, that they weren't going to tell him everything, which is why he gave them to the Dursleys.
Right. I'm hoping we get more insight on that as the story progresses, but the more and more the story goes on, and I know it sounds like we criticize the story a lot in these first few chapters, but really we're not.
We like information and we want to know.
I'm like I have to know information. It's like the in terms of the things that are worth the most, information is key. Information is extremely valuable, and that's what we want.
Yeah, we just like to know. What I thought was really cool, and things that I did, I saved it actually. I saved the exact wording of it. When Harry opens his letter, it says that he's being invited to Hogwarts. It has Dumbledore's name as Dumbledore, Albus Dumbledore, Order of Merlin, First Class, Grand Sorcerer, Chief Warlock, Supreme Mugwump, and International Confederation of Wizards. Okay, Order of Merlin. Does Merlin exist in this universe?
Enlighten me. I don't know what that's a reference to.
So when Harry finally gets a letter from Hagrid, he opens it up and it says you've been invited to whatever.
Right.
And it has Albus Dumbledore's name and all of his titles underneath. So it says Albus Dumbledore.
Right.
And then it has Order of Merlin.
I know I'm going to catch it for this. What's Merlin?
The wizard, King Arthur and Merlin? Sword in the Stone?
I'm drawing a blank.
You don't know who Merlin is?
No, I'm totally messing with you right now. I had to do it.
I didn't think you were going to be that dumb, but occasionally I got a question. Okay, so Order of Merlin. Does Merlin exist in this universe? Which would mean King Arthur would have existed. What? I thought that was quite interesting.
Yeah, that definitely raised some eyebrows for sure. And that's what's one of the intriguing things about this series is that there's just drops here and there, and I
no context
and no context. But I hope that they do touch base on it a little bit later on in the series. We got a long way to go in this series. So.
Okay, so First Class, I'm guessing that means, first of his class. Grand Sorcerer, obviously, most powerful wizard. Chief Warlock. So he's a sorcerer and a warlock. I wonder what the difference is in these books.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like I've heard both terms all the time. I don't exactly know what the major differences are.
Yeah.
Again, let us know in the comment section below if you can. That'd be awesome.
Supreme Mugwump. Not a clue.
No, me neither. I no idea whatsoever.
It must be important.
Yeah, it's gotta be important to some degree if it's in there.
But Hagrid tells Harry how his parents died and he lived.
And keep in mind, Hagrid is completely insulted by how the Dursleys handled the whole situation.
But Dumbledore had to have known that they wouldn't tell him everything.
Yeah,
so why is Hagrid so shocked and surprised? That was the point of giving him the Dursleys, was that he wouldn't know that he was special, that he wouldn't know any of this, that he would grow up normal-ish.
Did he really grow up normal though? I mean, to be honest, like we said, he knew when to pick his battles. He know what buttons to press and when he shouldn't. He mostly didn't because every time he opened his mouth, he got snapped at by his aunt and uncle and cousin. He even had his own doubts because of all that. And when that was going on, Hagrid explained to him when he was in trouble, with the messed up haircut.
Yeah.
And
the glass at the zoo.
The glass at the zoo. He's being chased by Dudley and his friends. Strange things would happen. All of a sudden, he basically teleports out of their range and reach. His hair mysteriously grows back. Even the clothes he wears fit somewhat to size at some point in certain cases. So, and then it finally convinced him, like, okay, yeah, you're right. The whole time this is going on, though, when Hagrid and Harry are having this exchange, Vernon is trying to get in there, like, no, he's not going. And Hagrid's
trying to be a tough guy.
He's trying to be a tough guy, and Hagrid just looks at him and says, "Shut up." Okay.
Yeah, Vernon's no match for Hagrid. Hagrid's got to be at least twice his size, because Hagrid is supposed to be like twice the size of a normal man.
Yeah, according to the earliest chapter, twice the size of a normal man, and he sits down on the sofa. The sofa almost collapses, which I didn't even know there was a sofa in this shack cabin.
Yeah, they didn't mention it. Wait, they did.
Did they mention
someone was going to sleep on it.
Oh yeah. Wasn't Dudley sleeping on it?
Yeah,
maybe that's what I mistaken earlier for a old raggedy old mattress or a bed or something. To be honest, mattress, the middle of a shack, on the top of a hill. Yeah, no, thank you.
I'll pass.
I'll take the floor.
So in the letter too, I want to address this before I get too far. It says, Hogwarts, the finest school of witchcraft and wizardry. So you're telling me there's others?
Good point.
They never mention it. They haven't mentioned any other school yet. I wonder what the second finest school of witchcraft and wizardry is. I would love to see a spin-off series, like a TV show spin-off series of the second best school, and how they're always talking about Hogwarts is doing this today.
Hogwarts is great.
And they got their own.
Is the best.
They got their own force.
Yeah.
Their own 4 classes and their own. I think that'd be interesting.
That would be interesting. If we could get a spinoff. I don't know if we could get a book series that does that, but
yeah, I always thought it was interesting. They don't mention it.
Who ranks these facilities? Is there an association of wizardry that ranks each school from
Dumbledore? He's in the International Confederation of Wizards. Maybe they're in charge of it.
Yeah, but he could inflate those numbers a little bit.
He's a headmaster, I guess.
Maybe. I don't think Dumbledore. He seems to have more integrity than that.
Yeah, I just wonder if they're going to mention it later in the book that there's another school.
That would be cool.
I doubt it, but I would love that.
Series. But like I said, we got a long way to go in the series, so it's going to be fun. There's a lot of content here. There's a lot to discuss, but this is going to be a fun series. I can already tell.
Yeah, I can't recall anything else that happened other than Hagrid telling Harry how his parents died, and Harry actually remembers part of it because he didn't remember before.
He part of it. Hagrid told Harry that his parents were basically obliterated by Voldemort, but Voldemort couldn't finish off Harry,
And then disappeared.
and then just vanished off of the face of, we'll say, Earth, assuming this happens on Earth.
Assuming. I think it's a valid assumption.
Valid assumption. Maybe it could be a parallel Earth. It could be a conjured Earth.
It's possible, but they got a Merlin, so.
And it's true. They got a Merlin over there. That's good stuff for sure. I like it. I love it.
I believe that concludes chapter 4. I can't recall.
Yeah, that concludes chapter 4. I mean, there was heated debate and exchange between Hagrid and Vernon. We all kind of know at this point that Dursleys are not so good at people.
And very against magic.
Against magic, wizardry, witchcraft, and all the nuts and bolts that go with that. We can't wait to do chapter 5. I hope you'll stick with us.
Check out our Patreon at Conjured Universe and give us a like.
Like, subscribe, and we will see you all for chapter 5.